I won't play Genshin Impact tonight. We'll only play WoW tonight. I'll be a good boy. I will actually be a good boy. All right, now with that, I need to find I'm gonna put Discord up here, and then I'm gonna put OBS right here. And how are we gonna get Zach's face on stream, guys? Is this it? No, that's not it. Is this it? Close enough. All right, everybody, welcome to the Allcraft After Show. My name's Asmongold. Please hit the channel with a follow. It would mean the world to me. And also, thank you guys. Yo, thank you so much. Thank you for all the subs. This is Asmongold telling you, you get that cash out. Get that cash out for my boy Rich. All right, you guys can hear everything. Dude, how pissed do you think Asmon would be if he walked in and saw this right now? I know I've announced the fact that I'm coming back several times, and it hasn't happened. It actually is now, but I'm not going to say it because saying it is actually cursed. So I'm just not going to say it anymore from now on. The proof's going to be in the pudding. Wait, that was the wrong button. How do I make myself not Asmon? Been asking myself on that on this stream for such a long time now. You should do the fart noise, dude. That's a good idea. Yo, Christian, thank you so much for that. And Vegeta, no, thank you very much for that. Dragon, thank you very much for that. You know, I actually knew a dragon in college, and I introduced him to your mom. Actually, you know, we go way back, Dragon. Dragging these nuts across your face, dude.
Dead streamer, proud to you.
Dead streamer, yeah. Thank you so much. Yo, Minecrafter69XD. You have the name of a mature person, just like your comment was. Thank you so much for that. You're a smart guy. Thank you very much for that. Guys, thank you for all these subs. Holy fucking shit. Let me open up my thing that tells me what everybody's done so I can thank everybody. Log in with Twitch. Rich, you haven't done that in a month. We didn't know that you streamed anymore. Oh, thank you so much. Fuck you. I was really busy running a multi-trillion-dollar company. Thank you very much. Thank you for 6 months. Sean, thank you very much for 6 months. The only thing that's throwing me off right now is the fact that I can't listen to music. So let me put on some music here.
I'm recording this video at the lowest point in my life.
Sorry, Jay Schlatt's voice is music to my ears. Just kidding. Just kidding. But he can't DMCA me because he can't even get verified on Twitter. What a fucking idiot. Law, sorry. Thank you so much. Ligma what? Yo, and also thank you a lot, Moffat.
Ligma balls. Yep.
Yeah. Good one.
Thank you.
Thanks for the host.
I sure do.
Let me grab you. Let me grab you the link so we can get your video in here and get this show started. Thank you.
Let me get the link.
All right, let me get you that right now. But yeah, guys, we got a bunch of cool shit coming up soon. I'll share that with you guys very soon. Dude, you know what? I think I might play a late night tonight, Zach.
What?
Old school RuneScape.
Really? Okay. All right. I wish they had like the league that was permanent, man. I'd love to do it.
The league that was permanent? What we were playing the other night is permanent.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, I mean like the Trailblazer, because I feel like Trailblazer's just so much faster, man.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what I want to do.
Part of the game is the fact that it's not fast. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah. It feels.
I need to get in the habit of playing it on my second monitor.
Yeah, I like a lot of the times, like when we're on a call.
You had open mod positions.
When like when we're on a call and I like want to just be playing a game, but I can't really.
Yeah.
I'm leveling my magic. Did you get that link?
Let me just go ahead and double check.
Yeah, and I'll literally just sit there and I'll just be clicking on a portal the entire time.
Lil Tesco cheered.
Lil
X100.
Tesco.
How much do I have to pay for you to fuck my wife?
How much do you have to pay for me to fuck your wife? You have to DM me, okay?
Yeah, we can't just do that out in the open.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a longer conversation and everybody wants to, you never know what people want to watch in a given stream. Not everybody might want to watch that right now, okay? All right, there we go. Asmon right here. Perfect. All right, we're ready to go. Let's do this. All right, so I think the big decision that we need to make before we start pulling in viewers, do we play RuneScape music softly in the background, or do we do no music during the viewer call-ins?
I don't know, man. I think soft RuneScape music in the background sounds good. I always like having music in the background.
Yeah, I used to as well. I tweeted the other day. I was like,
I still have your vinyls, by the way. I do.
Dude, oh, you weren't kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. Like, wait. It's literally right here.
Holy shit.
Like, I'm not kidding. Like, they gave one for all of us.
I literally thought that you were kidding. I forgot that they actually did that.
No, they actually, there it is right there.
Dude, I have to say, they were the coolest people on the face of the earth. Like,
I like them a lot.
They were awesome. They were fucking awesome. Yo, thank you, Lacto. Like, they were so fucking cool. Wait, what's loud? The music's loud, or Asmon's too loud? Okay, one sec. I'll turn him down a little bit. I'm used to having Asmon like really loud because I talk to Asmon when he's off stream. And he's like actually way quieter.
Zombie.
Yeah, like off stream Asmon, it's like he just came back from war every single day. It's like, yeah dude.
I kind of did.
Yeah, right. You just did the great Spurg War. All right, we got light RuneScape music playing. If you guys at any point feel like it's like a little bit too loud, you can't hear the viewers, just let us know. We're gonna get this party started though right now. We're gonna pull in the first person, Bad Bunny.
Oh, good.
Hello, Bunny. How you doing? You there, Bad Bunny?
Can you hear me?
Now we can. What's up, Bad Bunny?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
Just chilling, dude. What about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just doing some achievement runs.
There it is. What's your question?
So, I mean, I guess more or less I had a comment that I wanted to say, and then I got a question after that. So my first comment would be is, you know, one of the things that kind of bugs me about the way the game is today is everyone's looking for like the meta. You know, they're they want to know hey, how do I play my class? What's the best in slot? You know, when the vast majority of the player base is not even that good anyways. You know, these are people that are generally getting gray parses, green parses.
Yep.
And I don't say that to be like
you're not trying to diminish them. It's just the reality.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah,
and I wish people would, instead of focusing on like what is the best covenant, you know, what are the best stats, like if they just focused on
how to play the class better.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's the way I look at it, right? So, like, let's say you're trying to get up to the number 10, okay? And if you start at 3, it's easier to get to 10 than if you start at 0, right?
Right.
So that's why these people are trying to min-max everything else beforehand and have the right covenants, is because that takes them to 3, and that way they have a less amount of time that they have to spend getting up to 10.
With things like that, I mean, obviously, I think I understand like what you guys think of covenants, but from my perspective, you know, I kind of think that it should just be solely based on, you know, do you like their storyline? Do you like the design? Do you like, you know, the mounts that they offer or some of the transmog versus having this, you know, the DPS increase added to it?
Totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. I think that, to me personally, like, I'll be honest, maybe this is a selfish take, but I want 4 new abilities and not just 1. Like, I've spent a number of expansions now not getting any new fucking abilities, just getting shit taken away from me. I want new abilities.
He sounds like the red shirt guy.
So I'd love to have that.
Well, cool. Then my question would be is, and I'll kind of lead up to it before, is I've been playing on and off since late BC, I guess when the launch of Black Temple started. And prior to that, you know, I come from just playing console games. It's kind of funny because the way I got into this was I was just getting out of the Navy, and I heard some of my friends talking in the hallway in between, you know, I was a medic, so like in between patients they're talking about, you know, what I perceived as like goblins and dragons, and I'm like, you guys are, you know, I'm calling them, you know, I won't say the comment on stream and stuff like that, but I'm just making, you know, but, like, you guys are, you know, blah, blah, blah. And my buddy's like, hey, man, He's like, I promise. He's like, I'll pay for the first month. Just play the game. I promise you're gonna like it. And dude,
Yeah.
I could not stop playing. Like, it was bad. Like, I remember, like, I had just got married, and you know, my wife would come in and she'd be like, get off the goddamn game, you know, spend some time with me. And I was like,
Yeah.
I remember I was raiding one time, and she came in and she shut off my computer, and I was like,
Yeah.
I want a fucking divorce. I was like, get out of my life. I don't want you around anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yep.
you know, it hurts sometimes, or like, not hurts, but like, I get frustrated sometimes because people shit on this game, you know, and it's not a perfect game, you know, but I love this game. I mean, I really enjoy the bad stuff that's happened and stuff like that. I still love this game.
Yep.
I've never played a game that's, you know, remotely on the same level. And, you know, I think, you know, one of the things, like, leading to what I was going to get to is I do believe one of the things that's missing is this sense of community. And it just becomes a common theme. I hear you guys talking about it a lot, but it just feels like they're, you know, being a part of the guild doesn't feel like something that needs to be that needs to happen anymore. I feel like with having the group finder and stuff like that takes away from that, you know, and I kind of wish that's something that would, you know, go away, because you know, being a part of the guild, you know, having events, not just seeing raid login, you know, these are all things that, you know, make the experience that much more enjoyable. And it's definitely something I like to see freaking, you know, come back.
And I think that a lot of those things that you mentioned as well about player mentality feed into that as well, right? I think that it makes a lot of sense, the two things that you talked about, because they are linked. And I think we feel your pain a whole bunch as well. I mean, I don't have a wife yet, but I know that I love this game more than I love her, right? And I've always felt that way.
So,
go ahead.
What are some things, I mean, if they're not going to get rid of the group finder, which I don't think that they are, what are some things do you think that they can do to create that community?
Give people options and things that they have to do that don't use the group finder. And I think the group finder is okay. What's the problem is the automated group finder. Like that's what I don't like. That's what I have a problem with, is the automated version. Like, in terms of actually being able to form groups and make your own listings, I think that's great. I'd be very happy about that. But the problem is that you just don't really have that anymore. And I think that's really where I guess, like, I feel
you guys got to keep
I feel like things kind of lack. And in terms of questing and stuff like that, another big issue is that all of the world content in the game doesn't really require a group at all. It's super easy and there's no challenge to it in any way. So especially with like shared tagging, and so everybody just goes in there and zergs down some 20-man boss or something like that. Whereas, like, if you had a good group and the boss was like had more dynamic scaling mechanisms or things like that, maybe it would be more challenging. But the problem with that is then you'd have people come in and make it harder for you just by existing and doing fight. So it's really hard to do anything like that. I don't know what the right decision is. I have no idea. But I do think that overall, they did make some mistakes with making so many things in the game have relatively no friction to get into, and not really requiring some sort of actual social investment.
And look,
and I completely agree with you with that.
Yeah, and the thing is like, friction is always a good thing. You don't want to be throwing a hot dog down a hallway. And I think that for a long time with WoW, it has felt frictionless. And I actually don't know if they're the right choices, but I think that they have made choices to try to create that again, in all seriousness. And I think we're going to find out very quickly in Shadowlands if some of those decisions will work. I think one of the things that I'm not sold on, is the fact that you could play the game now as a solo player game. And that is always easier. The idea of, okay, you're going to play the content that you want to play the most, and you'll be able to only play that content and get rewarded, doesn't force people to play together. Like, imagine in classic WoW, if you could have gotten all of the gear that you got in MC by doing world quests, that obviously those didn't exist yet, but imagine if you could. Do you think you would have done MC every week? I wouldn't. I just want the gear.
Well, it makes all of the game systems compete against each other. And overall, I do think that like having to get together in a group of people, the best rewards in the game should always be rewarded through group play, minus like a few alternatives. But overall, I think group play should be the primary focus of the game and the primary reward structure around the game.
No, definitely. I like what you guys are mentioning and stuff like that. I wish that Blizz would listen to advocates, you streamers and stuff like that, content creators, because I do think that like you guys speak for a good portion of the player base. I mean, Asmon, you like pretty much have the majority of the players, even though there's a lot of spurgs, but
it's hard to say. I mean, there's a lot of people that watch, a lot of people that pay attention. I mean, like, it's great, but at the end of the day, I mean, Blizzard's got to make their own decisions. And I don't think they should really listen to like any one group of people as much as they should just listen to what the community in general wants, and just know how to process feedback and keep it in a measured state.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you dragging me in, Rich, and you guys answering my questions and stuff like that. I look forward to what you guys have planned in the future with OTK, and have a great day, guys.
You too, dude. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later, man.
Thank you.
Peace.
I agree full-heartedly, man. I really do. Ryan, thank you for the dude. Ryan, thank you for another 5 gifted subs, man. Yeah, dude. Somebody said that. Never mind. I'm not gonna go into it. Flooded day. I can't say that anymore. Actually,
what?
McConnell will DMCA me if I say it now.
Oh yeah,
the cat's out of the bag. Yeah, like I had DMCA'd for saying it. I literally took his line. That was a really good. I won't say it was a really good question. It was a really important point to talk about. It was a very important talking point, and I think that he set the stage very well. In all seriousness, and I am most concerned about this expansion being. The path of least resistance is always the thing that players will go with. And I think that when the game systems don't work together, and they are working against each other, like you said, when you're competing for the player's attention, I feel like the system that has the least resistance, just like Island Expeditions, right? Island Expeditions, a lot of people like the PvP elements. They thought that the PvP elements were good. But you know what happened? People did the easier one to get the rewards, and that's what happened to Islands, and it fell apart. I do think Blizzard is listening, though. I just think at a certain point, if you look at Blizzard like a band, you kind of already made Led Zeppelin 4, and it's a great album, and now they're making like Miley Cyrus's Hoedown Throwdown because they think that their audience has changed, and all of a sudden it's like Avril Lavigne, and it's like, there's no way that this is actually Avril Lavigne. Avril Lavigne was lactose intolerant. She was replaced by the government. She would never make the Hello Kitty song. Yeah,
that was weird.
I mean, I do think she was replaced by the government.
I could see that.
Okay, let's pull in the next viewer. Water. Hello, Water. Goodbye, Water. Okay, Water just instantly left. What is up? Hello, Bobby.
Hello.
How you doing, Bobby?
How's the maze?
Shut up.
And yes, I was actually in last week. You guys had the same comment about me being Bobby Kotick, but
wait, we didn't even do Allcraft last week.
I'm sorry, the week before. Yeah.
Okay.
My question was more along the lines of your thoughts with previous occurrences in WoW and how they could have been incorporated in the game in more of the Fortnite manner, where like the whole meteor thing crashing down. I know that on Allcraft you spoke about this giant sword, and honestly, I don't even think we know what's really going to happen with that, right?
I don't know if Blizzard does.
It's just going to sit there, probably, I would assume.
Yeah, do you think that there were any, good historic events in WoW that could have been put into this besides the sword?
I think that the Bolvar and Sylvanas fight with the sky shattering, and then also probably the end of the Cataclysm or the beginning of Cataclysm for like the Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch. I think that would have been really cool. And those are probably Deathwing emerging, coming into the ground. Yeah, that'd be really good. I think that's probably, burning of Teldrassil. I mean, that would be cool. Like, there's a few other things, but those are the ones that just come to mind right off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think the as much as they can, this was the idea that most really resonated with me from what Chris said in his video and from what we actually heard from Kevin Jordan when he was on Allcraft. The idea of the player being the most interesting story that can ever happen, the actual actions that the player taking and how that creates memories and creating an environment where that's encouraged. I think creating really big events, a very good way to do it. And it creates a place where people can all congregate. It's like, back in the day, everybody stood in front of Ironforge and dueled, right? Everybody was at like the main cities and they were dueling. Yeah. Let's give people a new place to stand. And let's actually have people interact with each other and create memories.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know. I just think that if they were able to do this, like, what about the lower pop realms where, like, you feel like you'd almost be the only person around there too, you know?
Well, you have to merge the realms. Like, Blizzard should have done that years ago.
It's such a hard thing to determine whether, like, what realms need to be merged, what realms need to not phase, when phasing is right. I do understand that that's a very hard thing to pull off, but nonetheless, it needs to happen.
Yep, I agree. That was my only question for tonight, but thanks, guys.
Well, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a good question.
Have a good one.
You too.
What should I even do? I'm not like how do I make them gamble if I'm gonna get invincible or not?
I don't know how the predictions work. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, I don't know how to enable them, how they got enabled on my account. If it's default, I have no clue, man.
How long you been coughing?
For about like 2 minutes before I drank the Dr. Pepper and it went down the wrong hole. And I instead of drinking it, I started to breathe the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And that was, it was unpleasant.
The wrong hole can really fuck you up.
Yeah, it sure can.
Been there, brother. Been there. Let's see, who else we got? Smart viewer. Hello, smart viewer whose profile picture is Jaina's boobs. You there, smart viewer?
Hello, smart streamers.
Hey.
So I have quite few questions about you. Like, can you ever, like, did you ever thought, any of you, how long this game gonna be alive? And like, let's say, like, me personally, I'm 28, and like, when we're gonna be like 60 years old, like, can you imagine yourself having a child or having a wife, or like just be 6 years old, both of you, and this game being alive? Like, are you still gonna play this game? Like, how can you imagine your life, like, having a kid and shit like that, like, and being 60 years old, like?
I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing, right? Is like, people grow up playing football and then they have their kid play football. You know, I mean, I think that video games can kind of transition into that. I even saw some commercials for, like, I think it was the new Xbox or the new PlayStation, of like, you know, a kid playing, you know, Mario or Spyro or something like that. And then like it transitions to him being older and like taking his kid to buy the new PlayStation 5. I think those were really good commercials and stuff like that. So I think that you could see video games transition that way to being something that's more intergenerational.
Yeah, I mean, like, even look at like Asmon, right? Like, his mom plays WoW, shared WoW with Asmon. Like,
well, I got her into the game, but like she also really? Like, yeah. Well, I mean, like, I think like an example with like my mom is like Mario. You know, like she got me Mario, and you know she had played it before, and then I grew up playing the game, and now it's one of my favorite games. And so like, I think video games will be the same thing. Like in terms of WoW, like there will clearly be probably breakpoints in the game where like the game changes in like a massive form, like kind of how, I mean, really you look at, you know, BFA or Legion and you compare that to vanilla WoW. These are two different games. I mean, really, these are two different games. And so like in 20 years, you're going to have probably 5 more of those jumps. So it's like, even if you go and like, let's say you played, I mean, like, this is a real thing, right? Let's say you played Mario, like the original NES Mario in the 80s, and, you know, World 1-1, where, you know, you go forward and there's the Goomba and you hit the little thing and it gives you the mushroom, right? And it's the whole level. That exact same level, you could see your kids playing that exact same level nowadays, because that's the way they developed it. It doesn't matter if you're playing it in Mario Odyssey or Mario Maker or whatever, it's still that exact same fundamental level. So I think that's basically what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Now another question. I want to test your memories. Like, maybe you are recognizing my voice, because I have been drugged earlier here, like a few weeks ago.
We never drugged you, but yes, we have spoken to you before. I recognize your voice instantly. Welcome back.
I am the gambler guy, the Azeroth champion, but I managed to do it in the end and I did not gamble the gold.
2400. You needed to get 2400, didn't you?
Yes, exactly, the PvP one, yes. And I managed to do it in the end, and I don't know. I'm not feeling good that I did not gamble, but I kind of feel good as well. I'm fighting with myself.
Yeah, you took the coward's way out.
Yes, I took the coward's way out. And now another thing is that, like, okay, that about like you being old, but like you both have a lot of perks, like running around you and like having attention. Like, just like, what kind of viewers you would have been? Like, imagine like you are just a normal viewer and like someone, I don't know, like let's say like a guy called Marquisa is like a famous streamer, and like what kind of viewer you gonna be? Like, are you gonna be the jerk one, gonna follow him all the way and try to be attention whore, or like what kind of viewer you gonna
what
be?
Would I do?
Both of you. Yeah, like both of you. Like,
I would be the kind of viewer that would do like, let's say like if I was a viewer and instead of me being the streamer, like there was another person that did the exact same thing that I did, but they were just a different name, right?
Let's call him Rich W. Campbell.
Yeah, well, like, let's say what I would do is I would show up to all their transmog runs, and I would then ask for all the things that they didn't need. So I would be like, okay, that's fine. I'm fine getting your scraps, because that's still better than doing it myself. And I would just attach myself to it and figure out every single little way to skim extra shit off the top of his community to get more stuff for myself. And that's what some of my viewers, some of the smarter viewers that I have do, is they'll come to my raids and they'll know that I'll get everything first, but there'll be a few things that they will get second.
Like a host.
How about
I'd basically just be a leech. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, man, it's really hard for me to figure out what I would be like if I was just a viewer. Would I be a leech? No, in all seriousness, I think everybody knows what kind of viewer I am, because sometimes I forget to log into my alt account, like one of my alt accounts, when I watch a stream, and I'm like real obnoxious. like when I'm watching Quinn stream, and I'll just be like 500 bits, like 77770, you fucking piece of shit. What the fuck are you doing, Rich? Nice one, you fucking piece of shit. I fucking love that shit, dude. I'm just like watching Amaranth stream, like, say my name, you know? It's so funny when she says my name.
Okay, and like one more thing, like for me, you guys are like two different persons. Like, how to say, like, Rich, you are more like a crazy guy and like never serious, and like it's most of the time it's kind of hard for me to understand when you are being serious or not. And Asmon is like always serious and opposite guy. Like, how you guys manage to understand each other with being so different from each other? Like, I don't know, like watching you, Rich, I legit don't understand when you are sarcastic, like when you are going sometimes like full retard mode, I guess, like with jokes about Asmon, and Asmon is just sitting with weird face and watching, like, I don't know, like it's weird, but like you guys are like best friends and having fun together, talking, creating the organization and shit. Like, it just seems weird, but it's kind of funny as well.
The way it is, like, for me, right, is like if you had like a list and like a lineup, I guess, whenever you're like you arrest a bunch of people and then you have them all stand in front of each other, you had a lineup. Actually, like, honestly, half of my friends probably would already have a picture like that, but you'd have a huge diversity of people, right? Like I've had so many different kinds of friends my whole life. I've done different things my whole life, and Rich is the same way, I'm pretty sure. And he's had so many different experiences. So I think also, like, in terms of the way that we approach streaming and everything like that, I do a lot of goofy stuff too. And I think like one reason why it might be easier for you to perceive the way that I do, some of like my humor or whatever, is I would try to be more visually different. I would try to create like visual cues that I'm joking around in some way or another. And I think that kind of helps people, because obviously you're not from the US, right?
No. I'm
So, like,
let's say like so.
Yeah. So like a lot of the nuances of like the way that people talk and, like little things like that, you might not really pick up on in the same way that like an American viewer would pick up on. And I think that like sarcasm and different types of humor and stuff like that sometimes aren't really translated as well. And so it's sometimes hard for people to get that across. And like one example with that for me is like, I'll have a lot of times whenever I'll know somebody and they'll get really mad at something that I said, and it'll end up not being what I said. And the reason for that is like, this is a person that comes from, they're from Brazil, or they're from, South America or something like that. I have a lot of South American viewers, and so they'll listen to what I say and they'll be confused by it because I say it in a way that they're not familiar with hearing. And so I think that might be some of it, because personally, I think Rich and I's streaming style is relatively similar. But I do think maybe I'm serious a little bit more often.
I also the thing that's going to be like really different, like even though Asmon and I are really similar in some ways that you would never see on stream, which is one of the reasons that we get along a lot. And before we started streaming, our lives were pretty similar in a lot of ways. Yeah. So I think that's one of the things that's always like made us really close friends. But you don't necessarily see that on stream. And then the other thing is I know. I've never focused on like growth on my stream, because a lot of the time when I was streaming, like I've streamed for 5 years now, but it's never been my like full-time job until OTK, right? And I've never had to focus on having like too many viewers. It's always been an audience that I know really well. So when I'm sarcastic, I stay sarcastic, and I know that they're going to understand it for the most part. I don't have 40,000 viewers. So like Asmon needs to make sure that, of those 40,000 viewers, there's
a higher level of clarity that you need whenever you're it's the same thing as like people are going to understand you better if it's like, one-on-one versus 3 people that you're talking to, and 5 and 10 and whatever, because you just have a larger disparity of different types of perspectives that you're going into it with. So to me, that's kind of how I view it, and that's how I've always looked at doing these kinds of things, right? Is like whenever, and I think even the ironic thing about that is like whenever Soda Poppin was talking about this like 4 or 5 years ago, and he said the more viewers he had, he would pay attention to that and try to like kind of curate the way that he spoke about things, or the way he talked about things in that way, because he knew he'd be attracting people that aren't necessarily as familiar with like his brand of humor. And so I think that's important to know.
And also like even with me too, I think one of the other things that people will say a lot, and this is with me personally, but it carries over. If anybody's ever watched me host, they're like, wow, like your stream's so much different than from when you're hosting. And it's like, well, when I'm hosting, I know sometimes, hundreds of thousands of viewers are watching. How do you make it make sense? Obviously the subject matter is going to be different, but a lot of what, like when I stream, I'm individually reading chat messages. I'm trying to make the best show for those people. And I know that in my stream doesn't like to talk about politics, right? My stream doesn't like to talk about serious stuff. So I focus on the stuff that I think is making the people that I owe the most to happy. But when I'm streaming, it's basically like it's a super fast wall of text where I'm quickly parsing like, okay, these guys, I should be serious right now. This is the mood of the tournament, right? So I think a lot of it's what your audience is demanding will change. The streamers who actually think about what they're doing will change what they're doing quite a bit. And Asmon and I are similar in that way, but what our audiences are asking for is very different.
Okay, so you guys are basically adopting to your audience and just like trying to do what they are asking to do.
I think that like if you wanted to distill it down to that, it would kind of be that, but I think that it's always like a give and take where you have like there's a certain malleability of your audience, and there's also a certain malleability of who you are and how you want to change and adapt your personality in order to fit what your audience wants to see. And I think that's really the balance that is kind of a struggle for a lot of people to meet. And I think that that's kind of one of the reasons why, you see like streamers that get like depressed and stuff like that, is whenever they feel like that type of dichotomy is, it exists in a way that makes them uncomfortable. I
have a question for you, Asmon.
Yes.
Not you. Sorry.
You waited a bit. It's okay. Go on.
I'm sorry. Asmon, am I different off stream? Because you never think about being different, right? Like, which is the thing that you brought up. Because I've never thought about being different. I'm just thinking, how do I make the stream the best way, the best possible stream I can ever make, right? Like that's always my mindset. I'm like, oh, it'd be cool. You know what I would want to watch? And then you go off the vibes and you change. Do you think I'm different? What am I like off stream?
It's about the same. I mean, like, obviously probably not talking as much or quite as loud, right? I mean, but that's like just because you're not talking to an audience. And so like that's different. But overall, it's the same thing with me, right? It's like basically I've used this metaphor before, is that on stream I'm a capital A and off stream I'm a lowercase a. But it's not like I'm a B off stream and I'm an A on stream. I'm the same letter, it's just capitalized.
I've always said that Asmon on stream compared to Asmon off stream. Asmon in real life, is Asmongold, and then Asmongold on stream is 100 Asmongolds in a escape room that's on fire, all trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have last questions for you, and then you can get rid of me. So, let's say like that. You, Rich, was commenting on MDI, but you never played Mythic Plus seriously yourself, right?
Oh, I did during that time, but even without,
you did.
Yeah, even without though, I didn't stream it. But even without playing a game seriously, like commentating and hosting is different. That was one of the very few games where I did. So this is actually a funny thing that I'll jump in on really quick. With that, with Mythic Plus, it was one of the very few games that I commentated and hosted that I actually was playing very seriously and playing a lot. But when I would host and cast, I wouldn't act like I knew all the things that I knew. And I would set up ways for the other analyst to actually say the things that I was thinking of at certain times. And the reason why I would do that, and the reason that I tend to do that when I'm hosting, is because there's a large portion of the audience that doesn't know those things. And by being that conduit for them to ask the questions, you make the viewing experience better. And then on top of that, for the players who tend to care more about those things, they're going to trust somebody who's an ex-professional way more. So you basically, if you don't focus on your ego and just saying everything and trying to make yourself look like the coolest person ever, you actually put on a better show where all of the statements that are said by an analyst have more weight, and you make the average viewer feel more comfortable. And there's a lot of theory things like that go into casting that I tend to think about a whole bunch.
Okay. Now this question is for both of you, but try to give a serious answer, not meme one. If you could, let's say Blizzard gonna hire you as a WoW devs, for game development, what gonna be the main changes you gonna do, and give the explanation as well, why you gonna do those changes, because many people complain about this game, and when I ask them what you wanna change, they either avoid the question or they're giving some retarded examples, stupid answers. And yeah.
Okay, so if I could change anything in the game, what would I want to change? It's a really simple answer for me. I would change the way that raid progression works, and I'd change the way that gear progression works. I don't like the fact that every patch is a reset for the way that people play the expansion, and I don't like that patches are not progressive building blocks onto each other. And I think that every expansion's content should be relevant throughout the entire expansion. And I think that one patch's content invalidates the previous patch's content in a way that I don't think is good for the game. And that's one of the big reasons why I don't really like the current raiding meta and the current raiding progression. So I would make raids progressive, and I would change the way that item level works so it's not as massively overscaled, and it would give players who take a break from the game the ability to come back and still feel some permanence with their gear.
Okay. How about you, Rich?
I would get this fucking mount.
I was about to say, beside rigging invisible mount to you, what else you gonna do?
I would change.
He's gonna do it again.
I would change the corporate. Why did you make it say the prediction result isn't that? Fuck you guys. This prediction thing is like the extra insult. At the very end, it's like, fuck you, you didn't get them out. In all seriousness, I would change a few overall core systems, and that would be what I would want to focus on. So one of the really big things is I would make sure that all of the end game modes led into each other, and that was like the focus of the player progression. So for example, even down to world quests and down to what are they called, professions, I would make sure that those were systems that led into the creation of powerful mythic plus keys that allowed you to get different chase items and allowed you to get different cosmetics, and you were actually working on crafting a key in the dungeon. That would all tie into raiding, right? I would make sure that all of those experiences, I would try to craft systems where players really need to play together. It changed throughout the course of the seasons. I think the season idea is a relatively strong idea if it's executed the right way. I just want to see all those end game mechanics loop into each other instead of having so many power loops which are disassociated from each other, and also power loops which really encourage players to play by themselves. Look, I play with myself enough off stream. I don't want it to be in this game as well.
Okay, now I will think of a last question, as like, because I'm also constantly reading the chat and they are like KGB agent, last question and debate, so I will just not gonna disappoint the chat. So what gonna be the actual last question? Like for Asmon again, like did you ever consider to main something else, like beside warrior, for one expansion? And like how would you think of it, and how would viewers take you, like if you're not gonna be a warrior main, because like your name is associated with warrior?
You asked this question last week, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Because Asmon said,
I did not.
Yes, you did. He said,
no.
He said DK or Warlock.
No, that was not me. That was someone else.
Well,
he's a KGB.
Rich remembers what I said. I was going to respec to a DK or reroll to a DK in Wrath of the Lich King, and the only reason I didn't is that I had just gotten my Amani Warbear, and I would feel stupid spending all that time farming for the Amani Warbear and doing the runs, and then swapping characters to a class that couldn't use it. So, unironically, if there were account-wide mounts and transmogs and items back then in Wrath of the Lich King, I would have actually rerolled to a DK.
Okay, well, that's it for me. I can't think of anything else, and good luck in Shadowlands.
Thank you very much.
And whatever goals you have, achieve as well in real life and with your organization.
Wait, did you just ask? Oh, you said, I thought you asked another question. I was like, oh my god.
No.
You wish us luck.
Well, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Really enjoyed having you on again.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you and goodbye.
All right, peace.
Dude, you want to know something weird?
What?
These potato chips smell and taste like meat.
That means they're not. Means they're not potato chips. It means they're meat.
Wait, I don't understand. Is it the salt that tastes like that, or smoke? And then there's ricotta on the bottom. This is my snack box.
Dude, I've been doing Legion invasions for like 3 years and I still am missing 3 items, man. I'm so pissed. And then they removed the tradable element of the items. I feel so stupid for not getting them earlier. I think in Shadowlands, I'm going to be much more proactive in farming things out so I can complain about the game being boring earlier.
I don't know, man. That means you're going to have to watch a lot less YouTube videos. I don't know if you have that in you.
I actually, the ironic thing about that is I actually am so much more. I could do like 12-hour gameplay streams every fucking day. What really burns me the fuck out is watching videos and doing that shit.
Really?
Yeah, like 100%. I'm not even kidding. Like
gameplay streams are easier and they're more fun, but
if you guys ever look at my longest streams, that are all gameplay.
Being a gameplay streamer is I'm always jealous of them. Like, have you ever watched Shroud stream and just been jealous the whole time? You can't even watch and enjoy it because you're just so jealous.
Because he's that good.
Not that he's good. He's just playing the game. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, dude, I would literally do gameplay streams all the time. I've been on an alt stream that I didn't tell anyone about the past couple nights. You don't even know it. Literally, few people watch.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Literally, didn't tell anyone. Too many people found out about my other alt stream because I, like, hosted it one time. Because I thought it would be fun. And, like, literally, like, I just did it for a couple nights because I knew, like, I basically ended, I ended working at, like, you know, like 4 a.m. or something like that. And I knew it'd be weird to start up a stream for, like, an hour. But I just wanted to stream while I played Genshin. And I just, like, made a random stream. And just, like, I don't know. Gameplay streams are awesome. But people like having the, like, actually being a part of the stream. And in gameplay streams, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah. It's definitely a weird balance.
Let's see. What's up, Razor? Let me turn you up real quick. There you go. Could you say something real quick?
What's up?
Yo.
Yo, yo, yo. I'm going to turn off the music because you're just a little bit quiet. How you doing, my man?
I forgot I have these directional podcast mics on right now, and I'm not used to them.
Yeah, we don't know how to use our technology, so we get it.
Yeah, so I don't know. So I'm kind of a lore guy, like you, Rich.
Oh yeah.
I was narrative designer and quest writer on Everland, and one of my big influences was Chris Metzen. So I saw you talking today about the way story is handled, obviously, because that former Blizz developer would talked about it.
Uh-huh.
I'm just curious, when do you think story in WoW was at its peak? When was it handled the best? Not necessarily because the story was the best, but because of how it was delivered.
I would say it's probably a two-way tie between Vanilla WoW and Wrath of the Lich King. So the reason why Wrath of the Lich King is obviously such a standout element for lore is the way that it told the story of the increasing imposing threat of the Lich King throughout the quest lines. But I think that also Vanilla WoW was able to tell a great story through different zones that transcended through the different zones with different characters and interacting with them in these smaller, more isolated events. You know, it's kind of like basically Wrath of the Lich King was... Okay, so like here's kind of a good example. Did you ever watch The Witcher, the series?
Yeah.
So, you know, like the first episodes of The Witcher felt like they were pretty much disconnected. You know, they were just like different stories of Geralt or of Yennefer and, you know, the different characters and just things that happened to them. And it almost felt like a quest in a way with some of them whenever Geralt would be on a quest to go, you know, do X or Y thing. And I think that's kind of how Vanilla WoW was. Is it gave people those individual stories that you could follow along with and keep up with. So I think those were important because they became more personal to the player because the player was completely involved in causing the outcome of the story to happen. So for example, like you were the one that caused, you know, the downfall of the Defias, and it wasn't you and a bunch of other people. It was just like you and maybe a few other people doing that. And you're much more personally involved with it. And I think that that definitely helped create a much more personal story that was personal to people, because I think that having that personal connection to a game story is what really kind of involves somebody, you know, on an emotional level in a way that, you know, what they're doing with, you know, BFA story, for example, just doesn't really do, because it just doesn't really have like that same personal emotional draw. So Wrath of the Lich King, I think, did do a great job in bringing together a more cohesive story, but I think that Wrath of the Lich King was much more of a, let's say, a series rather than just an episode. I think that Vanilla WoW had 10 really great episodes and Wrath of the Lich King was one really great series. So which one of those is better? It's kind of up to you to decide.
Yeah, I noticed because you know, I've been running ICC a lot lately, and you know, I remember probably Wrath's questing was probably the most fun I've ever had in WoW. I hate to say, but like those times are long gone. But you know, at the end of ICC, Arthas is basically like addressing you directly, and he's saying you really are the strongest champions Azeroth has to offer, and all this stuff. And it kind of makes you realize, like, the whole Wrath expansion. I think one of the main differences is it makes you the main character without making you feel like I
know what you're saying.
You kind of get turned into like this epic, like, can do no wrong hero in later expansions, and Wrath is kind of like the one where you feel like the main character, but you're also like not the perfect main character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so one of the things that they did that's incredibly smart in that expansion in particular, and you can actually use MOP as a thing to go in the other direction, because there was some really good storytelling, but there was some awkward world building, and there's some like really weird dissonance when you get into Mists of Pandaria, even though I do think Mists of Pandaria had a good story in a lot of ways. But when you actually look at Wrath, and one of the reasons I think it was so successful, it's not just the story itself, which did help. It's not just the straight up delivery in those narrative moments, but the world building was just so strong. The way that the world completely came together, the story was told even if you weren't paying attention to it. Even just the Lich King popping up in those random dungeons, the way that you felt like there was that narrative string throughout the entirety of the expansion. That's good game storytelling. There's a big difference between writing Chronicle and actually having the games, all the moments in the game, make you feel like you were in a real world that's living and breathing. And I think that that's always the bridge that you have to gap in video games.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. And you could kind of see where they ran out of the world they had built and had to add on later.
Yeah.
And you start seeing the inconsistencies.
That's whenever you see the retconning, and that's whenever they made Chronicle, is because they realized that they had done that.
So since Wrath, in all the like Cataclysm and beyond, I don't think any of those expansions have really handled story that well. But which would you think would handled it the best out of those?
Out of everything past Wrath?
Yeah.
I think BFA did do a great job telling stories, but the problem was that they were completely optional. And I think that's really what the issue was. BFA had tons of like different stories and like little quest lines that you could do and things like that. I think BFA did a very good job. I'd say also like Legion, the class order hall quest lines were really good, but I think the overall cohesiveness, or whatever you want to call for like the overarching story, was maybe not really quite as robust as BFA's.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that I would focus in on too, that I think is just an interesting change, when you go from the MOP, like think about the MOP artifact, or was it called the artifact legendary quest, when you're actually talking to Rathian, and think about how that story is told, and it's actually a break from the other parts of the game. It's like, okay, to tell this story, you are by yourself now. This story is being told to you. The agency isn't really there for the player. This is a story that's basically being yelled at you. The story itself for Rathian, the Rathian side of things is, I think in a lot of ways, I mean, this is up for opinion, but as far as just story goes, if you were just looking at the script, if you were just looking at what the actual lore was outside of the game, it's a pretty interesting story, and it's relatively well fleshed out. But the second you put it into the narrative of the game, it's not written the right way for that game at all. I think that is where like a lot of those problems start to happen, because if you look at other aspects of the game, when you look at other aspects of the game and the way that the story is actually told, it's told in a completely different way, where the players aren't pulled away from what they're doing. It's baked into what they're doing. Like if you look at Cataclysm and you look at the Rathian legendary, you're surrounded by other people. They witness the story happening in the shared space. When you hear the Rathian story, even if it's the best story in the world, all of a sudden you're by yourself, you're isolated, and there's a break between the ludic elements of the game.
Yeah. But who's your favorite character from lore?
Favorite character? Garrosh.
Oh, man, if I had to pick a favorite character, man, this is hard. I don't know why. I like Nobundu. I think Nobundu's randomly my favorite character.
I feel like mine's unpopular because it's Varian.
Why?
Because I feel like he is a guy that he's kind of forced to be an asshole because he's constantly put in these situations where it seems like, he's got to do what's best for his people and do what's right. And, from his perspective, the orcs are this invading force, and he kind of at least develops a little bit along the way. Obviously, in that Wrath cinematic, everyone's like, oh, Garrosh and Varian, they're two-dimensional characters. But I kind of see him as like the guy that is forced into being that way because, his son is the diplomat, right? But he's more war-hardened. He's had more experiences, right? I remember this article way back. I don't even remember who wrote it or what website it was on, but it was like called "Varian Rin is Right," and I just remember reading that and like gaining new like perspective on Varian. But
I think they did a really good job with creating the development of Varian, kind of seeing the different, more diplomatic approach through his son, and I think that was actually really well done. But again, I think one of the big problems with the WoW lore is that so much of it is not really put in front of the players in a way that they can understand and appreciate. Because I do think that a lot of the things that WoW does, it does very well. Like the Whispers of Il'gynoth and things like that. Those are really cool. And I think Blizzard did a great job with creating them. And I think it's disappointing that so many of those examples are just kind of these throwaway events that didn't really matter a whole lot and people don't really care about. Because I think that if people could see how much work and how much time Blizzard put into the lore, they would have appreciated it a lot more than what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree, yeah.
Yeah, it comes down to, as well, like, I think one of the biggest things with the lore, and I talk about this all the time, when actually pay attention to this expansion in particular, when you look at BFA, there's some really weird things based off of how the character models feel compared to, like, you look at the entire world, and you look at how the world's designed, and you look at which character models you're seeing when, and how the story is told is kind of illegible. It feels like you're just it feels like a game. And I think that if you look back in the past, the game wasn't set up like that. It didn't feel like a game. And I think that tells way more story than people give credit to. Like, even when you look back at classic WoW, there are a lot of zones where it's like, yeah, of course there's a Yeti cave here. I'm in like this snowy area, and it feels like it makes a lot of sense. And when you have like this story that's supposed to not be linear, and all of a sudden you see another troll model, you're like, wait, why am I hitting troll? I guess I'm hitting the horde, maybe? Am I hitting the horde right now? Like, what am I actually hitting? And all of a sudden that story, it doesn't take root in your head. The world doesn't feel real, and you don't get invested.
Yeah, I hear you. And just one other thing for Rich. I know you started with a background, you wanted to do game design. Do you see yourself ever going that direction again?
I still am working on a few of my own games, really one in particular that, I mean, Asmon knows about, but I haven't really talked about it to too many other people. I do it when I have time. I'll finish it one day. But I don't think I'll ever work at a company. I don't think I would ever want to work at a AAA. I just don't really like how, I don't know. I've like thought about working at a few different AAA companies, but the main thing is to, like, a lot of what I like to do is set up the entire thing, and that's not realistic at a AAA company to be able to have that type of control. And luckily right now, OTK is kind of my career now, and I'm really happy with that. So if I got to make a game, I would just be able to make something that I enjoyed making and try to make something that I would want to play. I also do make a lot of board games still, and I make a lot of card games and just play them with friends. So that's something that I've always done, and it's quicker to mock up. So I think one day I'll probably put out something like that as well.
Yeah, I have that in my background too. Like, I did a whole live action role playing game and sold the intellectual property, and
oh yeah,
it's really cool stuff. So I love world building. Like, you're a man after my own heart in that way. And I just want to say, I have a lot of respect for you guys. And Asmon, I've probably been watching your stream every day since July, since everything happened. I've been out of, it's been, tough financially and tough mentally and ever since everything. So I just want to say, I always have you up in the background when I'm browsing LinkedIn and all that stuff. So
seems like most people do it that way. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I just want to throw out there, you've probably seen messages in chat and stuff. I don't know what you guys are up to. I've been lobbying hard to try and be your D&D dungeon master and kind of carry through with the Everland, I have that background in Everland story and all that stuff. And I would love to be like a world builder and create a world around you guys in D&D. So just throwing that out there.
That could be cool. I mean, I'm not really sure what we're going to do with the D&D stuff yet. I mean, honestly, we have the whole, I'm going to be completely real. We have our work cut out for us in terms of the...
So Zach hasn't even seen it. Because I had to resend the document to somebody. We have a 26-page document of shows and events that we are going to pull off in 2021. There is another document that is called the calendar, and I actually think I can show it on stream really quick because here, wait, let me see if I can. I've been working night and day on actually getting all of this stuff in the place that it needs to be in. Right now is kind of the time period where we've been very fortunate. There are some shows that we've been able to make sure that financially they're going to work. As of right now, Dungeons and Dragons isn't one of them, but I think we're still aiming to get it off the ground around the time of February. But as of right now,
I will tell you, I am in Austin. I do have a D&D studio in my house with all the mics and stuff set up. JCG, Ready Plays in One with me.
What the fuck? Oh my god, that's crazy! Awesome, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. You were right.
It's a real thing.
After Mitch moved out of the other house and moved to the other house, I lived with him in that second house with Dustin and stuff.
I'm sorry.
And I still live with D-Kane and stuff, and he plays in my campaign too. Cool. And I have a big thing cooked up in December too. What you two might be interested in. I don't want to self-promote and stuff.
I'm not sure what we'll have time for with the world first race, but I mean, I'd definitely be down to do something a little small like that. Sure, if it's a one-off, whatever. Yeah.
Awesome.
You guys see something funny? This is the document I actually have to finish soon. Where's my Genshin Impact button? So we have a 26-page document of all the shows that we're going to do, but this is what the calendar looks like right now. Did I do that wrong? Is that the right place? Okay. Is that right? Can you guys see it? This is all it says.
Okay.
That's
I guess you made that calendar.
It's daily fact. I had to come up with a daily fact that's true on every day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we're currently at with the calendar. I'll be updating it. I'll be updating it soon.
But yeah, it was good talking to you guys. I love talking about lore and stuff. So thank you so much for having me on, and definitely reach out to me about D&D. I have a lot of big ideas, especially I know you said you wanted to do charity stuff. So I'd love to be heard out, off stream, even if you don't end up using me in the end. But love you to hear my
I always like people that have a creative mind, so thank you, man. I'll think about it.
Thank you, guys.
I'll see you later, man. Peace.
Later.
Yeah, dude, I need to dude, the calendar's the next thing that I'm trying to get done to actually set some of the dates. We actually we set some we've been kind of talking about getting a few of these dates figured out for a few of the events and weekly programming. And I think we have a few really cool dates that are going to be announced soon for some of the actual scheduled stuff coming out, right after a lot of the hype of Shadowlands. It's been pretty fucking wild. I'm really fucking excited for some of the shit that's actually going to be happening. It was kind of a double-edged sword. It was really awesome that we announced OTK during the holiday season because we got to do so many the holiday events. But it also was kind of weird because it took up so much of our attention that we couldn't start a show in time, right? Because it was just we just started, We wanted to do like the stuff that, you know, we knew everybody wanted to see. So we had to do all those holiday shows. And now Shadowlands comes out, and that's when we're going to start. After that is when we're going to start our regular content plan and our weekly stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Thanksgiving Day stream as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Who else should we grab? Titty Sprinkles.
Oh.
Hello, Titty Sprinkles. You there, Titty?
Jesus.
Hey, Titty.
What's going on, lads?
How you guys doing?
Hi.
Or how you doing?
Yeah, good. Sorry, I was just doing something else there. You caught me off guard, not gonna lie.
No, you're totally fine.
Yeah, you caught us off guard too. What's your question?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask. I'm a big PvPer, you know, and I haven't played much of BFA because it was pretty shit for PvP and RBGs and stuff. But what do you think PvP is gonna be like for Shadowlands RBG specifically? I don't know what arena's like at the moment, but I'd like to hear your take on it.
About arenas?
About RBGs specifically.
Oh, dude, they don't even give a fuck. They haven't given a fuck about RPGs forever, man. Like, I don't know why. It's just that I don't think they know how to incentivize them in a way that doesn't make people feel like they have to do it, but they also don't want people to feel like they don't want to do it. It's like a weird...
I think that there's also like this thing too, where after a while, a part of the game can kind of become tainted, and then they just don't want to touch it, you know? And I feel like RBGs, like a lot of bad shit happened around RBGs. They're kind of like, we'll just leave it there so nobody complains, but we're not going to touch it. I would almost like if they took out the taint and just said, okay, this part of the game's tainted, this part of the game's tainted, this part of the game's tainted, and just take all the taint out and then reintroduce it later with a more complete system, right? Like if you actually took like, I feel like RBGs, sadly right now, are the taint of WoW. I think that they just kind of are. They shouldn't be. It's a solid way to play the game, and I think it has a lot of potential. Imagine if they took it out of the game for a little while, and then it came back, and it was a big deal when it came back, and all of a sudden there was a second chance again for it to be good. I kind of wish that they pruned a lot of abilities. I kind of wish in a lot of ways that they pruned some of the game modes. And they could actually return again a little bit later with stronger, more modern systems. So it didn't feel like every single thing in the game is kind of like a bastardized version of what it used to be. But it's hard to take things away from people.
Yeah, but I just don't see why they can't. You know, there's nothing wrong with RBGs. Like the 10v10 like competitiveness of it was pretty fun. I thought it's because I play a lot of League of Legends as well, so it's like competitive. Yeah. There's never much for PvE really, other than getting gear for PvP.
Well, why do you think people don't do them?
Don't know, because WoW players are shit at PvP.
Well, I mean, usually most people that I don't know. Back in the day, I remember RBGs was for people that couldn't get 2200 in arena.
That was how it was viewed, right? Like that's the thing. You basically had this game mode where it was like, oh, these are the shit arena players that can't get a team. And then it was like, well, it's not fun because it's super sweaty. So now you've alienated your two main audiences. And then on top of that, the community that stayed there, hey, look, a lot of the people from that community are very good friends of mine, but it was one of the most toxic subsections of World of Warcraft. Like it did truly become one of the more toxic areas in the game. And I think that all of that combined kind of put them in a weird place where they were like, okay, we just want to like leave this alone and just like pretend that it's not there.
That's a real shame.
I think that what they need to do is just honestly get rid of it for a little bit and then bring it back, because I do agree that it could be something that's good in the game, but I think it needs like an overhaul.
They got rid of 5v5 as well, didn't they?
Yep. They did.
Do you think Blizzard just don't want people to PvP in this game more?
Well, they got rid of 5v5 for the same reason, right? Like the thing with 5v5 was it was just...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It was just an uncompetitive bracket. Like it wasn't balanced properly, and it's the same reason why they took Glad rewards away from 2s. It's because the rewards were not really adequate for like what was being done. It's the same reason why, like, if you got a gladiator mount, imagine for like doing arenas at level 30, that would be kind of silly. So like, I don't know. Like, I think that's why they got rid of it. It's because they just didn't really feel like it was well balanced, and they didn't want to have like a mode in the game that people felt like they needed Blizzard to balance.
But can you get glad rewards for 2v2 now?
I don't think so. I think you can get the elite title, like the elite warrior or the elite paladin, whatever. But you can't get the gladiator rewards. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think so.
Kind of sucks. That was kind of my question, really.
You brought up like a lot of really good points, man.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate it a lot. I mean, I love PvP too, and I think that a lot of the reasons that they make these decisions is because certain modes of the PvP, as they come out, get viewed by the community that would want to play more casual things as being too hardcore, and the hardcore community view it as casual, so nobody wants to play it. They like get these weird cracks, this weird gray area, and then falls by the wayside. The people that keep playing it decide that the fact that they play it is their most interesting character trait. It goes straight to their head. They get an ego, and they turn really weird, and they start doxing each other, and like it's weird. Like it happens. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It just keeps happening over and over again.
That's very true, Rich. That's true, and that's a good point. I'm glad you made that.
Yeah.
Asmon, when are you going to play League, huh? Over to a real game.
Good joke, dude. That's funny. That's funny.
You wouldn't last a minute.
I know.
You're too soft. League community eat you up.
I played League once. You know that?
No, I don't know that.
I did one game. Izzy had me do a game, and as I would backseat gamer, I'd tell her what she's doing wrong, even though I never played the game. I'm like, you did that wrong, you did this wrong, you don't know what you're doing. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to play a game. And she finally made me play a game. And I remember she was worried that she was going to get reported because I was feeding because I died so much.
Hey, Titty Sprinkles, I actually have a question for you because, look, for a while I rode a tricycle, and then eventually I made my way up to riding a bicycle. So when are you going to take the fucking training wheels off and actually play some fucking Dota?
Why would you succumb yourself to that awful? What the hell would you do that to yourself for? I punished myself enough by playing League. Why would I play Dota as well? It's like that. Jesus Christ. I'm kind of even disgusted you even suggested that, to be honest.
Oh man, I'm a Dota man through and through. Can't change me. You know what I will do on League though all the time? Buy skins. That's all I do. I literally log on a League, buy a couple skins, and then I'm gone.
That's a good man, yeah. Keep the game free.
Yep.
We need whales like you.
I got you, brother. I got you.
Alright, you can kick me out now. I'm done.
Okay. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Dude, it was a lot of fun. Really good questions, man. It was nice meeting you.
Thanks.
You know what we could do tonight?
What?
It's your favorite thing.
No, it's not.
Come on, man.
What is it?
Just a couple of rolls, a couple of wishies, a couple of wishies.
Wishies? What do you mean?
Couple of wishes?
Isn't that Genshin Impact ship? Oh no.
Dude, we should pick a brand new gacha game and I just force you to watch me fucking spend money in it.
No, that's a great fucking system.
Dude, I get a fucking rush.
You know what we could call it?
What?
Whale Watchers.
What we call it?
Whale Watchers.
Was that actually a show? Because I feel like that's like a mean show. I feel like Whale Watchers was a mean show.
Well, because it's like fat chicks? No.
I think so.
Really?
Isn't that what it means?
Isn't that like... I think it's actually like looking at whales. Like people would go out on like cruises to see whales.
Whale Wars? That's fucked up, Zach.
Well,
that's Weight Watchers, Rich. Oh yeah, dude, that's why I got it mixed up. That's actually why I got it mixed up. You're correct. You were fucking. Yeah, I literally mixed it up. I was like, I thought he was making a Weight Watchers joke. I was like, that's fucked up, man. Oh man, dude, they made a character in Genshin Impact that is the most whale bait character ever. The character basically is dog shit if you get it right, but if you get it 7 times, it's the best character in the game. Child, yeah, child, dude. Dude, Zach doesn't care at all, dude. Dude, Zach literally doesn't care at all. Look, I listen to the shit that I don't care about that Zach cares about all the time.
I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, you do. You're a good friend.
I'll listen to it.
My dad used to always make fun of me, and he would just be like, "Oh man, it's just another one of his phases." Like, I really liked Power Rangers when I was a kid. I would just talk about Power Rangers all day, and he just be like, "It's just one of his phases." And then I started talking about WoW all the time. And he just went, "It's just one of those phases." Been a phase for 15 years.
For 15 years, man.
Yeah. Asmon, do a death roll for us. Dude, I didn't get the long boy, huh? I missed out on the long boy, didn't I?
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right, whatever. It's time to listen to a song that will definitely give me good luck. I'm going to get the mount really quick before we pull in the next caller. I believe in this song. Do you know this one? Fanfare?
Let me turn on. No, I don't. I don't know enough about the game yet.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Wait, turn it back on. This is the best part. Are you adding it to your playlist?
I might, yeah.
What have you been listening to? What's that face? What just happened?
The whole time?
No, you just made a face.
No, not really. I'm chilling, dude. I'm just chilling.
Dude, he made the weirdest face ever, right? Like, I'm not crazy about it. It was so weird, dude. It was very, it was like, I was uncomfortable when you made the face.
Good, thank you.
But I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know what it was. He farted. All right, I'm gonna get the mail, dude. Asmon is actually handsome. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, they do.
You can't be a top streamer like Asmon without being sexy. It's true. Think about it. Asmon, Pokimane, Sakuno. Who else? Trainwrecks? He's the most handsome man on Twitch.
I've heard him say that.
Dude, I haven't seen Trainwrecks in person in 2 years.
I live probably like 20 minutes away from him. 15 minutes away from him. I haven't seen him in fucking 2 years or a year.
I haven't seen him in 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Train, I'm pretty sure was the time that I met Fandy, and Fandy didn't remember meeting me.
Oh, yeah.
She egoed me. She's like, I'm pretty sure I don't know you.
She's a big deal now. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
She's a big deal. She's a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Somebody said Hassan. Hassan's really attractive until he starts talking. So I'm not gonna count. I'm not gonna count him. Wait, Tips is trying to get people to buy Pokemon packs for $1,800 in the chat. Tips is literally in the chat. Going, does anybody
Who here wants to spend $2,000 on a Pokemon card?
This is actually it. I actually know that this is it, Zach.
That wasn't it.
Hello, Porcupine Monarch.
He's muted.
He'll hear it in the stream though. They always do. Hello.
Is this the real one?
Stream. Who's the real one?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's
What's
me.
up, dude? How you doing?
Hey, pretty chill. How are you? Actually, no, I'm doing. I'm having a fucked up day, but it's okay. How about you doing?
Pretty good. How about you? Well, I guess why is your day fucked up? That's a better question.
Besides the fact that I have a rotten teeth that's given me 3 sleepless nights, I'd sound pretty good.
How many?
Just one is my wisdom tooth in the back.
Oh, they're gonna pull that shit out anyway. Don't worry about it.
The question
you ran
is,
antibiotics yet?
no, I haven't taken antibiotics. I have a painkiller.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do is cloves. It'll numb the tooth too.
Clothes?
Yeah, cloves. Like you just put like raw
Cloves, yeah,
cloves on the tooth, and it'll numb it.
Another thing that I did when I couldn't get antibiotics quick enough, you can actually go to the vet and you don't need health insurance, and you just say that your dog's sick and you need antibiotics, and they'll give them to you really cheap, and then you just take the dog drugs.
I'm not sure if U.S. regulations are the same as they are in Europe, man.
I certainly hope not.
Yeah, me too. This is the time for the question anyway, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so question is, it's a bit of a retrospective right here, okay? If you look back at all the features and the systems that we got in BFA, put yourself in the shoes of the game designers and the developers. If you could take the features that you think failed the most, how would you change them, or how would you envision them as like successful? For example, if you take war fronts, let's say you hate war fronts, what would you do with war fronts to actually make them like the dream type of content that you would have liked to do?
You did it. I think that this question's like very timely, because when you actually look at some of the like island expeditions, for example, right? If you look at island expeditions, I think that one of the mistakes that isn't necessarily obvious with the island expeditions now that it's been out for such a long time, like people have accepted what it is, but they forget how it started because it was 2 years ago. The real reason that I think island expeditions failed in a lot of ways is because the easiest way to play the game, or the easiest way to get the rewards rather, was to play the game against bots, right? And I think with that as well, people just never jumped into the PvP side of things, where a lot of people had fun. I remember even Asmon saying that he was having fun in those, but I was like, why would I try to have fun if I can just get in and out, go for the path of least resistance? And I think that that's a core thing that I would change with pretty much every system, is really trying to avoid having these path of least resistance options be solo content, and having them be content that's completely mindless, because I think that that's where you start to have people hate certain aspects of the game. I think that there are a lot of things that can be mindless and can be good, but I'm a little bit nervous that some of the systems that are actually added now, the path of least resistance will be, I'm going to play a solo player game.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Asmon?
For me right now, what would I really go with? I think that for Warfronts, for example, one thing that I would have done is that I would have added in a certain degree of like, what's the best way to explain it? Like I would have added in PvP basically, and I would have looked at how to make Warfronts more of like a thing that's happening as time goes on, rather than just kind of like a one-time queue into it, one and done event. Then also on top of that, I would have changed the way that Warfronts like rewarded you, and the types of rewards you got, and also the more guaranteed nature of the win condition. So I would have had Warfronts being like you queue in with like 40 or 20 other like horde people, and you queue in against 40 or 20 other alliance people. Or you could even have something where like defense has 40 people, or defense has 20 people, and offense has 40 people, and so you're playing kind of at a disadvantage, and you have like a different type of reward structure for each different side that you play, and you'd have people that would want to play defense and people that would want to play offense for different reasons. In terms of island expeditions, I think that Blizzard really dropped the ball in terms of PvP. One thing I would have liked to see them do is add in doubloons as a resource that you obtain throughout the round itself, which would cause players to go back to the vendor and buy things that would help them inside of that round specifically, and then have them retuned for the PvP specific island expeditions, and then also add arena frames to the PvP island expeditions, so it's easier for you to tell what players are doing and whenever they're doing actual things.
Yeah, also, I want to jump off of kind of what Zach's saying. Like, if you only half listened to what Zach is saying, it would be pretty confusing, right? Because it's like, it's actually painting out a really deep system. I think that a lot of the times when new systems are implemented, everything that Zach said would be fun and it would be really good. But if you throw that out right out of the gates with a new system, I think it's really overwhelming, because it's not just the one system you have to pay attention to. It is so fucking many. And I think that one of the failures of this past expansion was all of those systems came out full fucking everything all at once. Like, learn Azerite, learn this, learn that, learn this, learn that. And I think for a lot of players, it was just overwhelming. So I actually think that some of the systems need to come out as lean as possible in these expansions, so people can slowly learn. It can actually build upon itself. And, you know, I'm really against gating content. I've always been against gating content. I think there's a big difference between a system growing throughout the course of patches and a system like coming out like completely broken and being gated or being time gated, right? And I think that if these systems grow throughout the patches, that's a very good thing. The first impression is absolutely everything. Let's let the game breathe. Let's let the game build, and let's let people have fun in the first few months, and then let's build up. And I think PoE is a game that does this very well in the way that they implement some of their stuff. Very different audience, but they have some of those principles baked into how they make the game. And I know people are going to laugh at me again, but one of the reasons that I play so many games, even games that other people might not like as much, is because good things happen in those games. I think it's important to pay attention to them when we're trying to make the best game possible for WoW, or at least talk about making the best game possible for WoW on Allcraft. But when you look at a game like Genshin Impact, they did a really good job with how the world opens up. I got to see it a little bit faster because I paid money, which I obviously don't think is good. I don't think that World of Warcraft should be a gacha game. But one of the reasons I've played the game for so long...
I hope not.
Yeah, right? I mean, hey, look, that's one of the scariest things in game design. A game like Genshin, as much as really good game design, a lot of the things that it does could be very dangerous for game design as a whole. You know, having content locked behind gambling, which is going to be something that can actually make people act out of their own self-interest, can make them spend so much money on these games. That's something that's dangerous, and I hope that the government's regulated in time. But when you actually do look at some of the things that are strong about that game, the world does open up in a very good way, and you learn the intricacies more and more over time. And I think World of Warcraft needs to be doing that.
Mm-hmm. So there should be a consistency in the vision.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that anytime that a company has to scale is a tough thing to have, right? It's very tough to have that consistency across the entire board. Sometimes it seems like some of the systems don't work with each other very well. And that just comes from the fact that, I mean, look, you go from World of Warcraft, which used to be an incredibly small team where everybody was all on the same page with each other, to all of a sudden there are too few people working on some of the things, and there are too many people that can't communicate on some of the other ones. And I think that's always going to be a difficult thing to pull off. I mean, even look at OTK, right? Like, we run a business right now with 6 very different individuals, and we also have 10 other employees and 4 people on our esports team. When we need to decide when we are going to when we're going to decide, like, even a simple thing like, hey, we need to shoot a 30-second video, all of a sudden you have to get all of those schedules in line. That's a team of less than 20 people now, or basically I think it's exactly 20 people now. Now imagine trying to do that on a company that's already scaled and is a multi-billion-dollar company like Activision Blizzard, and trying to make all of these things line up, and then you just delayed a game and had a huge crunch over the past 1 or 2 months. There are definitely some teams that are not talking to other teams, which is the nature of game design, but it's also a little bit scary as a consumer.
Well, I do know that community. Well, for example, if you look today, they have like what over 30 game designers for World of Warcraft. Like, and I know that Blizzard has this culture where they're trying to promote discussion between various different teams as much as possible, so that they can have like, because I think it's like on their plaque outside of the building where they say like every voice matters, right?
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how actually how true are they to that motto, but at least the way I kind of see it is I feel like there's so many people right now at Blizzard that when somebody comes up with an idea, and let's say that idea really sticks, but then you have like 10 other people and going like, hey, we have this different idea, and then it becomes so diluted. And ultimately, at the end of the day, what you're going to get is like a mishmash of different opinions, which probably creatively as well is probably nice on paper, but probably not in practice very effective.
Talking about like kind of too many people making decisions, too many hands in the cookie jar.
Basically, yes. For example, I would say this is also evident in the lore, because if you compare the style of the narrative with today, how it used to be before, back then you used to like have only 3 or 4 people doing the story. That was like the time of Warcraft 3, and that was like the golden era of the story, right? But now it's like 40 or something like that.
You think that there's just so many people involved in it, it just becomes so intricate that and so involved and so fragmented because you have so many different perspectives that it's hard to really get into it.
That, and because collaborative fiction can of course work, but this was, of course, the thing is that back when Chris Mattson was still in the company, he tried to promote this like culture within the team that would deal with the story. He called it the tribe, right? Like a tribal behavior, where every voice matters, as I said before. And from that moment onward, it was no longer up to Chris Mattson only, right? I mean, he is technically the founding father of the story, but now you had multiple voices in, and basically, if it's not Chris Mattson, then basically the authorship belongs to more people now, and everybody has a different style, right? I think if you look at how it used to be in World of Warcraft, Cataclysm, for example, compare that style with how it was in Warcraft 3, the difference is night and day. You have to admit that.
Yeah, between how they deal with humor.
Content like that, I'm always very kind of I don't really ever know if it's going to turn out well, and like I've even felt this way about Elden Ring. The story for Elden Ring is being developed by of course like the FromSoft people, but it's also like having George R.R. Martin work on it too. And I always worry whenever you have like 2 different mindsets that go into something, how are you going to balance those 2 things out? How is that going to go? And usually I have kind of I'm kind of pessimistic about that.
Also, it's like, it's too many chefs in the kitchen thing. And I'll keep using OTK as an example because I think it's an easy one to understand. Imagine if you have all of us working on the NMP announcement video and everybody adds their stupid joke into that 30-second video. What it would
cut
actually
out a
look
number
like.
of people's stupid jokes.
Well, the God's honest truth of that video, you know what ended up happening? Mizkif basically came up, or actually, was that one Mizkif basically? No, that was basically Finn, right? And everybody backed off because everybody respects each other, and we let that one get done. For the actual announcement video, that was mostly Mizkif. Like, I would say the actual announcement video was mostly Mizkif's ideas. And one of the reasons that everything works so well is because there's just this like, okay, we all respect each other. We're going to back up and let this person do this one and take point. Everybody else is going to do what needs to get done to make it work. Now, think about something that happens for a really long time, though, when you have a lot of people working together. You want everybody that you work with they're your friends, so you want their thing to be made, and you also want them to help you have your thing made. So that same mentality that might work for us in video creation, when you look at video games, imagine that 20 of the people on the World of Warcraft team have been working together for 15 years. Let's say that employee A and employee B are best friends. They've literally watched each other's childs be born, however the fuck you say it. They're godparents to those kids. You can't tell me if there's something that comes up where it's like, hey man, I really believe in the system, I want to have it made, that your friend's not going to vote for you. I actually think one of the things that is bad for a company that's existed for a really long time is just having too many friends involved, because all of a sudden, people are going to take sides, and then you have bloat of systems. Everybody's just making sure their buddy system gets involved. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. On top of that mentality then gets involved. I think that teams need to be, and I don't know if this happens at Blizzard or not, right? Like,
it did. This is why Titan fell apart.
I have no idea, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, I'll say that right now. I know I used to like I've obviously done work for the company in the past. Like, I was an employee, yada, yada, yada. That was not my world. And like, I'll just say that right now. Like, that was not my world. But the thing is if something like that happens and the team isn't shaken up a whole bunch, there isn't fresh blood in there, and there isn't kind of some sort of, there should be tension on a design team. Like, it is important to have disagreements because you come up with really strong ideas. Asmon and I disagree all the time. We respect each other enough that when somebody says that the other person's wrong, it's not a fight, but we usually, with having worked with each other for a long time, we end up picking the best idea. I think that that's a problem that World of Warcraft has.
Yeah, the thing is, like, people that get their egos attached to their ideas are never going to be successful creatively, because there's always going to be times whenever people are going to come up with something that's a better idea than what you had. And I think that there's also cases where even whenever somebody doesn't come up with a better idea than what you had, they're going to come up with something that gives you a better idea than what you had. So it's like you take what they say and you're like, wait a minute, that gives me an even better idea. And let's take what you want to do and take that to the next level with this. And you kind of create a synergy between those two things.
Yeah, like an exposure to new perspectives, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea for the OTK video, for example, was S-Fan said that we should blow a horn and then show a picture of an eagle. Because that was just that, and that actually became the premise of the entire video, was that horn, but we never showed any like stupid right? That was like one S-Fan joke that he had, and they were like, holy shit, you know what if we made the entire thing that we're doing what we're doing in our daily life? Mizkif added like a lot of humor to it, and then we were getting called to OTK, and then we talked about it, and sure enough, we called Tips and he made the video.
I'm tips are all the work.
I kind of apologize that we derailed into lore, even though that my original question had nothing to do with it.
No, I'm enjoying this talk. I think it's a really good one.
Oh yeah, okay. I just wait. Did you talk about it? I let them talk because I'm not like some people who like to interrupt other people. Sorry, I was talking to chat there. I saw it.
Yeah, a lot of people are like that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they want me to give you a quiz question. Jesus Christ.
Go ahead, dude.
You want a quiz question?
Yeah, I mean, dude, we've already, one of the reasons that we've never actually done something, we talked about it a whole bunch, not to start that meme again, but we've talked about like actually doing like something, in the past where we actually did like a little quiz thing, whether it's Allcraft or like now OTK. But it's just, I mean, we've even been in DMs. I know Asmon and I talked about it. But yeah, we've been like super disorganized getting a bunch of the other stuff off the ground. So we would love a quiz question.
Choose your difficulty number between 5 and 15.
12.
12.
Wait, what was the question?
Question, choose a number between 5 and 15.
12.
Asmon said 12.
12.
That's going to determine the difficulty of your question. Okay.
Okay, yeah, 12.
I already had this one. Choose a number between 3. Hold on. 1 and 12 again.
7.
7.
7.
Yeah, 7. Titty sprinkles, thank you, man.
Wow, you're not gonna like this one. This is really specific. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
All right, chat, get ready. So, which of these gemstones were not used in the names of either of the destructible gates in the Strand of the Ancients battleground? Was either ruby, sapphire, emerald, or amethyst? Which ones were not used in the names?
Ruby and sapphire were not used.
Yep, it was amethyst.
Only one of them.
Oh, wait. Sapphire. Wait. Think. Slow down. Like, actually think. Was there...
Well, I mean, you're...
I think it was sapphire, not ruby. I think it was sapphire. Like, actually, seriously. I'm going to go with sapphire.
You're going to go with sapphire.
Yeah, I know that I'm in the same place where It's somewhat of a guess, but I don't remember the blue at all, and I remember the purple and the green. Like, I remember amethyst, I remember emerald. Was the center gate ruby? I think the center gate was ruby. I don't think that there was a blue one.
Okay. So you don't think there was a sapphire, and Asmon thinks there wasn't a ruby?
I could see there being a ruby. It's been a long time. I don't remember. It would make sense for the last one to be red, I guess. So yeah, I guess I'll just still go with ruby. Yeah.
Ruby and okay. In that case, I gotta ask this as always, gentlemen. Is this your final answer?
Probably.
Yes.
All right. And the victor isn't. It's not you, Rich. It's Asmon.
Asmon's right?
Yeah, Asmon was right.
Wait, so the center gate sapphire?
Sapphire. No, red sun is... Oh, let me actually give me a look. In the east side, you have the blue sapphire. The red one is on... Wow, Jesus Christ. Hold on. I have it written here in my documents that it's definitely ruby wasn't used, but the locations, I don't have them pinpointed. So that's what it is,
Yeah, I'd have to go back to the VODs. I'd have to go back and look at it.
I was busy having sex.
Everybody disagree. Everybody in chat was saying it was sapphire. I mean, I don't know what it is, but like if I hear something, sometimes I just know it. I don't know. It's weird to explain it. I either know something or I don't.
That time
right.
I was
okay.
I don't.
Anyway, just quick last thing. I don't want to delay this for too long. There's people who are probably already pissed off that they have to listen to me. You guys are smart. You know a lot about World of Warcraft. You have your opinions. A lot of people look up to your wisdom about the game. But I want to know, if you had to look at each other, right? Asmon at Rich and Rich at Asmon, what is it that you disagree with the other person about WoW?
About WoW?
I hope that makes sense.
Oh wait, we disagree. I already know we disagree on what the worst expansion was.
Yeah, I think that War's Draenor was by far the worst expansion.
I think BFA was like
and you think that BFA was?
Yeah.
Reasons? Actually, no. The reason why do you disagree with the other person? Can you put more detail?
Rich's perspective is that basically, while Words Draenor didn't have a lot of content, the content didn't create apathy, and the content that did exist was still good. And my perspective was that there was just so little content inside of Words Draenor that whenever you compare the scope of the offering of BFA's content to Words Draenor's content, you just really had nothing to do playing the game, period. And so I still think that even though BFA had relatively bad content, the sheer amount of it just made it a better expansion, and it just gave it more content in terms of your day-to-day activities.
Yeah, we kind of agree with each other's points. Like, we both agree that the expansions were bad for the same reason, but we just disagree on which one is worse because of it. It's like kind of the end of it with that one. Yeah, I really think that all of the thing that was a problem with WoD was just that it distracted you from the core MMORPG elements, and with some of the bad things that existed and the lack of content. And then when you actually look at this version of the game, when you look at BFA, they had scraped out all of the things that make an MMO a sturdy system, which I think made the game overall fail.
Yep. And then they advertise orc clans, and you don't get any orc clans.
Yeah,
in terms of interaction.
Among other things. I mean, it was a huge disappointment for like 1,000 different reasons. I think Words Draenor to me was like such a disappointment because I felt like it had a lot of potential. Like for me, BFA, I didn't really care about its storyline being disappointing because I didn't really care about the storyline to begin with. I thought it was just like, okay, yeah, whatever, who cares? But with Words Draenor, I went into it with like very high expectations for the lore, and I was definitely let down there.
Oh yeah, I think that the other thing too, one of the reasons I think that WoD is viewed as being like really bad is because of what the expectations were and because of the surge of players that came to the game for it. And I think that first impressions like really affect how a game is viewed. And I actually do think that WoD got a little bit more shit than it deserved because of that, when I think that the fair amount of shit was given to Battle for Azeroth because of the bad first impression. That's like a weird little thing with it that I just feel strongly about.
I agree with both your points, actually. Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I could ask you many questions, but I don't really want to take up all the space. So I think this is going to be the time where I'm going to step aside. Thanks for the invite.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming on.
I thank you for inviting me.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, gentlemen.
Peace.
When did I get Arcade Explosion?
A few weeks ago, whenever the pre-patch came out.
Dude, fuck, dude. Wait, people agree with me right now.
Yeah, people think that WoD was better than BFA. I think they're completely wrong. And as somebody who played both of them the entire time, I don't even think that it's close. I think BFA is just infinitely better than WoD.
But they agree with me.
Mm-hmm. They do. They're wrong.
I'm right.
A lot of people agreed that Sapphire was the gate that was the correct answer too. Most people thought Sapphire was.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I can't remember a blue one. I remember a red one. What color is a Garnet? Green?
Garnet, yeah, it's green. I don't really remember things in terms of like, I don't know. I can't really make sense out of the way that I remember things. Like usually I have like very good visual knowledge. Like if I can remember somebody's transmog, I'll know where they stood. But with that, I don't remember how I know that.
Wait, Garnet is red.
Oh, Garnet is red. Oh yeah,
wait,
because that was the one I think in Diablo 3.
Does Kevin Garnett play for the Celtics?
I don't know.
I think that's why I thought that Garnett was green. I literally thought of Kevin Garnett and I was like, yeah, green. I literally know nothing about sports, but randomly I just thought of Kevin Garnett and thought that he was green. He's retired. Wait, really? I had his, I remember he was playing back when I played old school RuneScape because I had his Lego, him and, was it Devin Nash? Did Devin Nash play on the Nets? And I had their little Lego figurines. I had their Lego, the Lego. You play Lego basketball ever, Zay?
No, I only played real basketball and it was awful.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have those like weird memories. Let's pull somebody else in here. Zamix, how you doing?
Yo, what's up, dog?
How you doing, dude?
Hey, what up, my man? What you doing?
Yo, I'm at work right now on the laptop.
Cool.
Yo, take off your headphones. Let us yell at everybody.
Yeah, work as a security guard, but you know everything looks pretty calm, so I think it's okay to hang out on Discord.
Well, hey, if somebody gets in, just say that you were just calling into a World of Warcraft show. So don't worry about it, man. They'll get it.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever had to deal with?
Really solid question here.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever had to deal with as a security guard?
We had this guy that was blackout drunk and smashing windows through the community, so we had to get somebody on him.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a bad boy.
Yeah. Oh, I have such a good question. Hold on, let me
Somebody said Dr. Disrespect. I don't know why I found that so funny.
Yeah, he didn't take the ban that well, man.
He's just running around community and just like
he's fucking busting shit up, dude, man. Fuck
the two-time, I fucking swear. Wait, a Garnet can be any color? Dark red. Garnets come in a variety of colors, but have difference in varieties. However, the most widely known... Wait, where'd he go? Did something bad happen?
Probably the guy came back. He's breaking more windows.
That's why they call him the two-time.
Hey.
Oh, man. Dude, you can have a green Garnet. Okay, garnet is used as is usually connotative of a dark or a red form. Other colors of garnets are usually even more descriptive gemstone terms. But what makes it a garnet if it's not the color? Garnets are a series of several different materials with unique chemical formulas. They can be red, green, yellow, orange, brown, pink, purple, gray, or black, but they have to be transparent or translucent. Their luster is they have luster. Did you see Quinn not know what a verb was?
No, but I can. You don't have to. You don't have to. I believe that.
A verb. It's got to be adventure.
Fuck, man. I really hope that guy's okay. All right, well, let's bring in this guy. Hello, Venom Travin. How are you doing? Devin Travin. How you doing? Or Venom Travin. How you doing?
Use push to talk, or can I just
I think you're fun. Whatever you're doing right now is working.
Oh yeah. So I have like one question because I was listening to your Allcraft before I had to go to practice, but I was thinking on my way back home. Do you think Blizzard should make like a game around like a game based off of Torghast or something around the concept like it, like a roguelike game?
Go ahead.
So here's the thing. I love roguelike games. If Blizzard made a roguelike game, I would be super fucking excited about it personally because I just like love that genre. But one of the things that's particularly interesting about Torghast is it's a roguelike with the World of Warcraft controls, right? It was the best of both worlds. I think that like a lot of people who play World of Warcraft very much like to play that type of infrastructure because we've been playing it for 15 years and we feel very accomplished inside of that user experience. And anytime that you get to play a genre, especially a genre that you love, with that user experience and with those controls, I think a lot of players really enjoy it who've been playing WoW for a long time.
Okay, I see.
Guys, Diablo is an ARPG.
Yeah. Yeah. I only prepared like one question. I don't know really what to talk about now.
Cool. Well, you know what? Thanks a lot for
job,
coming
dude.
on and calling in. I appreciate it. That's okay. You don't have to have a bunch of different questions. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm not like a big talker. I just wanted to ask that.
What was your practice for?
I do marching band.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You know my friend Jeff that I always talk about?
No.
Okay. Well, I have a friend Jeff that I always talk about on my stream, and he actually did marching band for 4.5 years, man. Every single year in the summer, he would go to marching band. The one year, like anybody in the story that remembers the story about how Cody leapfrogged over Jeff in gear, that weekend was because he was at marching band camp. And he was probably like one of the best percussionists I know. Probably still is, honestly. I've got a few videos playing.
I played trombone, and yeah, I'm finishing up my 4th year.
Fuck yeah, man. Congratulations. That's awesome.
I used to play a little bit baritone, a little bit of trombone.
A little bit of trombone?
A little bit of trombone. My buddy Ryan used to play trombone, and I don't know why I just remembered it right now. I literally, dude, the amount of times I remember shitting my pants. I shit my pants one time at Ryan's house.
How many times you shit your pants, man? Like, I never do that.
I think I only did it those 2 times. I don't know why I just remembered it. I shit myself. I remember we were playing the baritone and the trombone. He had a trampoline. We were jumping up and down. I remember that Pokemon Snap was on the television. And I remember there was just like a little bit of a turd. It was like a rabbit poop. So it wasn't like I made a mess in my pants, but I was like, oh shit, dude. I think I coughed too hard. Well, it was really nice meeting you, by the way.
Yeah, nice meeting you too. Next time, I'll probably have more questions, but...
We'll keep an eye out for you.
So do I like disconnect now, or...?
You can do whatever you want.
See you.
I get it. Will you sing a DMCA free song for me?
Somebody unlock the secret door in Demon Souls.
What?
Apparently you can get the Penetrator's armor from it. What the fuck, dude?
The only thing that's about to get penetrated.
Dude. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. What, dude?
Say something.
Yeah.
Wait, no, fucking cutscene. Goals and rug. Dude, what the actual fuck, man? Like, I actually, like, I'm kind of at my fucking wit's end. The expansion's gonna come out and I'm not gonna have the fucking mount.
No, you get next 100%, dude. Don't worry about it.
Try harder. Put it on heroic difficulty. It is on fucking heroic. That scared the shit out of me, man.
Dude, what, dude?
What is it?
What, dude?
Wait, you put it in Discord.
What's what?
This thing that you're going like, oh shit, dude.
No, it's just a VOD.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a VOD of the guy opening it up. I want to see it, dude. What the fuck, dude?
Loot it harder. Fandy's watching you, and you're gonna fail like this. Somebody said...
You're gonna let down Fandy?
Never gonna, no. Somebody said something like, they said your mom's a... They said my mom's something. And I tried to like fucking put them up on screen, and I had a witty comeback, but I lost it. I lost what they said. Did you see Zach's famous COD VOD clip? I guarantee it, without any context, I know that he was driving a fucking truck.
You're right.
I'm getting so sad. Oh, Fandy, I want to make you happy. How could we make Fandy happy right now, Asmon?
I don't know. No fucking way, dude. Oh my god, damn.
Just loot it.
What the fuck,
dude? Dude, wait, share this VOD with so I can show them, because like they're confused. I'm confused.
So in Demon Souls in the remake,
but just share it. Just message it to me. You know what song I have stuck in my head? You know that David Hasselhoff song?
No.
Action. I can't sing more than that because I'll get banned. But...
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I'm pausing it. Okay, and then I'm minimizing this, and then I'm gonna hit this button. Oh wow, I'm a genius. Wow, I'm actually a fucking genius, dude. All right, let's put this here. That's at the edge. Let's increase the size. Am I at the right part?
Oh my god, dude. What the fuck, dude?
Does this look okay, guys? Is that too small?
Wow. That's fucking bad.
What? The guy, he's playing as Diluc.
What is this, dude?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What were you saying? No, that was it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just 30, I guess. I'm going. Can I snipe your stream? Yeah, no worries.
I'm also sniping. Oh shit. All right.
By the way, Zach, if I somehow acquire like a $20,000 Pokemon box, will you open it with me on stream, on my stream, if I get it?
Yeah.
Bright definitely makes it look a bit better. Probably should have done it. Probably should have taken my picture with the bright filter.
30 coins.
That's okay though. Cursed. Oh yeah, you can use cursed weapon.
Mr.
Does that work
Bird.
on this
You
weapon?
have to. You talk to Mr. Bird, and then he gives you the special key. Oh my god. What a day. What a day. Oh my, I gotta play the game again now.
Oh baby. I'm the fucking penetrator.
Dude.
He's the fucking penetrator, dude.
Oh, sword, dude. Look at that, dude. You need to play this game. This game's good. Did you ever beat Dark Souls?
No, I'm gonna do it on a
It'd be cool to
Friday
make a
after
PC
shit calms
character with this
down.
armor,
I liked playing
but
it like with you.
It looks like you
it was
have to beat
fun.
the game
Just
multiple
next time that
times
I
to get
play
the
it
armor
with
set.
you, I need to make sure that I'm in a place.
I'm gonna keep you on track. I'm not gonna let you fucking pull up some YouTube video.
But next time that the problem actually wasn't you. We were we were playing, and once I got in the groove, S-Fan, Mizkif, NMP, who else?
Everybody messed you up, man.
Everybody came in and they're like, yo, you hungry, dude? And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm kind of hungry. And then I started watching a science video. I was going fast, man. I was going really fast. The thing is Dylan was going to come over and play
Genshin, right?
No,
Demon Souls together.
Dude, we were going to stream Demon Souls together. So Dylan and I were out at the bar the other night.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, I have the PlayStation 5. Like, you should stream Demon Souls. And I was like, shit. Like, dude, I would love to borrow your PS5 to play Demon Souls. And he goes, dude, I'll play it with you. And I was like, holy shit. Because back in the day, we used to get, like, those streams were always super hype. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, did I tell you about Genshin Impact? And then he started playing Genshin Impact. And the dude literally has a C6 child now. What am I looking at here?
Okay, so basically there is a special door that was created in the Demon Souls remake that was not in the original game. And that special door, nobody knew how to open it. So for the past few days, the entire community has been trying to go around doing different things, hitting different walls, looting different items, giving different things to the crow. Because there's a special crow that if you give it a certain item, it gives you another item back. And people have tried like every option, and there were these coins that people were just collecting, and they were trying to give the coins to the crow. So they finally gave enough coins to the crow to where it gave them this special key that nobody knew what happened. And they finally got the fucking key, and they used the key. They opened the fucking door, and it has the Penetrator's armor in it.
And so that tree, so the wood is the portal to the Penetrator. This
Yeah,
right here.
Actually, yeah. If you have to unlock the wood in order to
penetrate,
or you have to use the wood to get the Penetrator.
I think I understand.
Yeah, I have to go over to my dad's to eat with him.
Wait, so nobody found that for 12 years? Okay, no, so nobody
Well,
found that.
I
For
don't
12?
think it was in the original game.
Oh, okay, because that was the thing that people were saying. All right, so I guess I'll farm Invincible for a little bit, watch a couple videos, and then, dude, I think I'm gonna play old school RuneScape tonight.
There it is. I'll probably watch that.
Yeah. All right, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Tell your dad I said hi.
Right. Peace.
See, wait. Don't end just yet. Let me turn off the thing really quick just to make sure nothing weird happens.
Tell me when.
You're good. Peace, brother. Thank you. Thank you for a great show. Bye.
Yep. You too, dude. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.